All right, everybody. Here we are again. Guitar number 3 for G&L and Kahler influencers. Now, this guitar, once again, is wildly different from anything else that we've done for anybody else so far. The biggest difference on this one that's going to be the most obvious thing right away, it's got a fulcrum. It's a Kahler fulcrum. This is actually, in my personal, not so humble opinion, this is the best double locking fulcrum ever made. It has all kinds of different options with it. And this one in particular has the Auto-Latch. So what is the Auto-Latch, you might ask? Well, it's just something that'll turn your floating fulcrum into a fixed bridge, pointing the bar at the ground. So I'm going to get this thing cleaned up, shielded, and ready to wire up. And then we'll be right back. All right, well, she's all beautifully shielded up. Everything's looking great. Yeah, hey, look at this. We have an honest-to-God trim spring cavity. And that's because you guys are going to witness this. The Kahler Steeler Professional. First, however, we're going to install these Seymour Duncan pickups and explain this crazy wiring system, because these pickups themselves are very unique. They don't look too terribly crazy, but if you look at them a little closer, you realize that one coil is way bigger than the other one. And that's because these are P-Rails, and that means that they are a humbucker that's a combination of a P90 style pickup and a rail style pickup. Now, with the correct switching, you can get humbucker, P90, and rail. And if you also do more switching, you can get parallel as far as the humbucker goes. However, in this instance, I don't think it's that important. All right, well, we got the P-Rails in here. So we're going to put this thing over to the back. And with the Freeway switch, you do not add your ground from the pickup to the wire that is traditionally known as the ground. That will actually short out part of the Freeway switch and it won't work right. They're very good about pointing this out in their wiring and stuff like that. But, well, I made my own wiring. Here's a closer look at it. Now, as you can see from that great big circly deal, this is going to be complicated. If solder spatter happens, that hot solder that hits the clear coat will bubble everything up and it'll just be a mess. This is easily avoided by just putting a towel over it. And I even have towels that are modified with a hole cut in them so I can do everything and have the guitar completely protected. Next is that I've made these nifty little plates to hold all of the electronics in exactly the same places they're going to be in the guitar, so that when I transfer them off of the plate into the guitar, they'll fit with no problem. There won't be any stretching of the wires. I won't be sitting there going, why did I make this longer? Or it's way too long. Those are my happy little tips. I'm going to shut up and wire this guitar now. Well, this was both a lot of fun and a ridiculous pain in the ass, but you know what? I am an artist, and sometimes you must suffer for your art. Besides, I really want to impress Dr. Andre. I mean, the guy's got a PhD in music, you know? What am I going to do? I barely passed high school. So now it's time to transfer these electronics to the guitar itself. I'm going to do that kind of carefully and then test everything out and make sure before transferring over that it actually does in fact work, because man, this is a pain in the butt. All right, we got everything inside the guitar. And hey, take a look at that. What a mess. I hope it works. Let's find out. And so here it is. We're starting back here with the bridge humbucker. And if these switches are in the middle, which they are, then it's humbucker in series. Go down, and now all of a sudden, it turns into a P90. We go all the way up, and it's a rail. Get back to humbucker there, and now we'll go to the neck. Same humbucker, P90, rail. We have our tone controls for each respective pickup back here. We have our master volume right here, and then down below we have a blend for the bridge, which is also volume when it's just the bridge pickup. So now that we have that all taken care of, let's go through these positions. Right here is bridge pickup. Both pickups in phase, in parallel. Neck pickup. Both pickups in phase, in series. Both pickups in phase, out of series. So the output is the same, but when they're out of phase, it sounds way different. And then the last one is out of phase in parallel, which should be the same as the middle position as far as the reading goes, but out of phase, once again, it just makes it all honky and quacky. Success! But, as Gary Kahler says, we don't sell pickups. So I'm going to get this neck back on. Put on this bridge. Well, this is nice. Almost done. And this right here is so easy to do because you don't have to cut the balls off. And then you run this thing right here through the Kahler locking nut, not the string lock. I know that everybody thinks that the string lock is the Kahler locking nut. It's not. It's the string lock. This is the locking nut. Beauty of it is these GraphTech ratio locking tuners here make it to where I really don't have to do a whole heck of a lot. I don't have to do a luthier's knot, anything like that. If we just poke this through down here, run it through, built-in string guide, pull it tight, lock the tuner. What could be better? All right. Now just get a little tension on these strings here. Just as soon as I got some, and lock it down here. This has a pad attached to it that goes under here, because if you were to just tighten this screw down and it hit the string, it would cut it. That circular motion, the vigorous circular motion, would cut the string. And there's 10 attaboy points for the first person that can say what the vigorous circular motion is and where it comes from. Last part, just so I don't forget, I'm going to put the pads back onto our locking nut. One of the really cool things about our pads is that they're completely asymmetrical. There's no way in the world that you can put it in the wrong way. It'll only fit one way. So there we have it. This super sweet guitar for Dr. Andre Fludd. So much like the one that we made for Trey Xavier and Gear Gods, yet completely different. You'll see this guitar with us 2 more times. Once where Gary Kahler and I talk about it, everything that went into it, the Auto-Latch, the Steeler Professional, and then another one where we just kind of demo the guitar, give you a little bit of the tones. Nothing crazy, nothing super fancy. So that's it. Until next time, I've been Eddie Kernan for Kahler. See you next week.